Okay, welcome to the Long Spoon for March. This is Robert.
And Suzanne, we're Clarity.
This is Sandra.
Christina and Suzanne.
And here we are. And as we have been doing since we've been doing the tabletop conversations, we'll start with a selection from one of this one is the Totemic Presence Oracle. And the one selected for this time is number 18, Dolphin.
And we did it last time, but Robert stubbornly says we must.
Well, she's the one that wanted to be here, so we must have the dolphin pod continuing to swim around us. So it says, Dolphin, the singer of the waters that finds ecstasy in breath as it plays, only stopping to hear the need of others who have lost their breath for life.
Oh, wow.
That's perfect.
And then you can read the text.
Dolphin, the enigmatic singer of the waters, effortlessly glides through the ocean, her playful melodies intertwining with the gentle rhythm of the waves. Each breath she takes is a symphony of life, a celebration of existence itself. Despite her boundless joy, Dolphin possesses a deep empathy that resonates with those who have lost their way. Pausing her enchanting song, she listens intently to the silent pleas of creatures adrift in the vastness of the sea, offering her unwavering support and understanding to all who seek solace in her ethereal presence.
Very timely for this month.
Very appropriate for this.
As we're coming out of winter and into spring, making sure those that feel like they're lost in the winter's grip are going to find their way into the spring crocuses and the beginning of the flowers. Of course, we're further north than some, but we are seeing robins around lately, so that's a bit. And I think that with the empathy that the dolphin has for other sea life and humans, that is a neat totemic presence for this month. She kind of helps people that emotionally feel as though they're drowning in whatever, that she will help buoy them up to the surface so they can kind of gather themselves and continue on.
Well, there is a bit of confusion right now. And I think confusion, there's so many things that it makes one feel that way. And it's kind of hard to tell what's up and what's down and what's above and what's below. And
Good, bad, and ugly, it's all in the mix.
Yeah.
So we all just kind of allow the dolphin energy to help you take a breath and just center yourself and realize that your focus is really with your own world, your own internal world, and how to nurture it, because it's the whole thing of like the oxygen mask dropping down from the airplanes. You got to attend to yourself first, and then you have the strength to strengthen your own world.
Yeah. And I think it's really neat that the dolphin is the one thing that surrounds all the continents with the oceans. That the dolphin is in all the different oceans, and so it's kind of surrounding all the landmass, in and out of it, which is really, I think, consoling. And also, they're very playful. Dolphin energy is a playful energy, and I think that play is an important part of our balancing right now. Is not being in the grip of
Let's don't get caught up in everything.
And fear and
anger, loathing.
Yeah, it's like if we can move into some play, we can get some of that energy drifted out away from us, and because that kind of energy will make us all feel bad, feel sick, and uncentered, and that energy also makes us grumpy with the people we love. No.
Yeah.
What do you all think, Suzanne, Christina?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think a lot of what we're looking for is the levity of because as you were saying so well, that there is a lot of seriousness right now and a lot of gravity where everybody and everything can feel really oppressed and heavy and, like I said, serious. So trying to take breaths in between and keep looking for places where there's levity, where there's light and lift. That, and even doing little things, you know, we even as a family community have been trying to do some things that are a little bit out of our rhythm to just to have some fun, you know, and break the energy and do, you know, give ourselves a little treat or do something, no matter how small it is. It's just something to break the energy and to feel a lift and to feel, yeah, just to kind of laugh around and just kind of distract yourself from the energies that want to press and become all consuming.
And we know that, like, during this time too, like the price of groceries being so high, that we ended up finding a game called Supermarket Sweepstakes. and so it's a way to infuse Dolphin, the fun of Dolphin, you know, with even groceries, and to try to make it a game and go for the big expensive things, and you know, it's like it's kind of a way to flip the energy and work with a different perspective. And activating Dolphin in lots of ways like that can be really fun.
Yeah.
And I think people feel it's a very political time, but it's not.
Right.
It's a very spiritual time. We're going through a very consciousness, spiritual time of change, and we have to go deeper into ourselves to feel that connection to the divine and our sovereignty, so that what's in our life, we can flow with it better. We can also center into ourselves, because it's real easy to be really upset with other people and feel depressed or oppressed or but there's a lot, because there's a lot of change happening all at one time, and it's a change that has been trying to happen, and there's a lot of wonderful things inside of it. And we, as we center ourselves, we can help steer the energy to stay balanced and stay more spiritual than political. I don't know if that's said, but we feel we feel supported in our life, no matter what political season it is. We go back to what we go to, and we manifest in our life a clarity.
There's a constancy. I like how you use the word season in relationship to that, because, you know, there are the ins and outs of the changes that occur, which has happened through our entire history, and it's part of the movement of things. But how do you stay centered when, for instance, a side wins that you're for and you feel elated, and the side wins that you're not for and you don't feel elated? But where's the centering point in those two places? And it's within yourself, so that what's happening on the outside in the world isn't so all-consuming.
And it's not all understood.
Not that you don't have concerns, but it's not so all-consuming that it actually like bends your breath. It doesn't allow you a full breath of what's right around you, what's in your immediate vicinity, what's in, you know, if you're sitting in a chair and you have a cup of coffee and the world's all in a swirl, but can you sit there, enjoy what you're seeing around you, enjoy the warmth and the taste and the smell of the coffee? And it's not that you're ignoring the world, but you are contributing to the world by putting your senses to work. And that is something that is a constancy in a world that changes, is for you yourself to be centered enough that you're not triggered by things that are occurring. Obviously, there are things that are upsetting, and that happens within families, businesses, uh, countries, the world, all of those sorts of things.
There's
But
a lot of unknown coming forward.
yeah, and so giving yourself space to take a breath,
And assimilate that.
see what's around you that's close up, that is in your personal world, helps center you in being in the world. And I think that's what dolphin does. Here's the dolphin out in the sea, and it can be tossy-turny, cyclonic, other times beautiful and calm, and yet it's able to maintain its space because it goes in and out above the surface and certainly below
Yeah,
the
so-
surface, and it's able to flow with what's immediately around it and interact with and support and help those. Many dolphins have helped support
Yes.
animals and people
Yeah.
save their lives because they have this consciousness that is available with that deep empathy to be aware around them, but at the same time they can only do that because they're secure in their own individuality, their own sentient awareness.
I love that one. The sentence: each breath she takes is a symphony of life, a celebration of existence itself.
Mm-hmm.
And that is wonderful.
Mm-hmm. The power of
Just-
your awareness of your
just
own
life.
existence adds so much to the world.
That kind of power you can assist.
Mm-hmm.
You can assist everyone with change.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it's like it's traveling its own route.
Mm-hmm.
And what you want to be is that you want, in whatever way you are as a being, to assist that in whatever way you are as a spiritual being.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Change happens all
All the time.
all the time, and it's happened through all our years. I mean, we're in our 70s,
Mm-hmm.
and the first thing we have to do is set ourselves inside the change so that we can become volumized in our own sovereignty.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Wow.
we can actually assist others.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
What do you all think over
Oh.
there?
I think that's really true. I was just looking up because something that you all were talking about made me think of a passage that was in this week's book of the class book,
Uh-huh.
and and it said you begin to understand why it is that what bothers you most isn't other people, it's the incomplete story that you're caught in. And I was really moved by that when we were in class, and it made me think about all that you were just sharing too, and how easy it is to get grumpy or upset with other people, and on globally, personally, politically, all those things, and you think that it's the other person that's you're upset with, or that they're bothering you or irritating you. But what you're really caught up in is something, a narrative or a story that you've just taken on unwittingly that isn't yours, and it's incomplete. It's not truth.
There's a lot of facts we don't have, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
on a real level.
They don't
And-
write, they don't call, they don't fill
Right,
us in
they
with
say
anything.
this
And
Nothing.
it goes back to, again, that awareness of being willing to, when, I try to keep stopping myself. I'm not always successful with it, but when I feel an irritation or a grumpiness or feel irritated with someone outside of myself, then, I've been trying to stop and take a breath and become aware of what it is that I'm got a hold of that isn't a real truth. that isn't a squared perspective. It isn't a clear recognition or a whole picture of what might be happening in that moment, so that I can step back. I'm not always successful with it, but ever since we did that class and that came up, I've been really aware of that and really appreciating having an opportunity to find more ways to work through those times when I feel that, when I mean, I think we all, as part of being human and in relationship and with life and with other people and everything, you're going to run into irritations and things that bother you. But when the more aware you can become of where the source of that might be coming from, I think it's really helpful and helps create that levity we were talking about, to give some space, some lightness to when things feel contractual.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not ignoring or not feeling.
No,
It's
not
trying to
denying.
raise the energy so that we can actually feel.
Yeah.
Because what happens is it gets so contracted on that
And
you're no longer
you're
like
like
feeling and
paralyzed.
breathing, and then if we can't feel, we are no way open our heart to
That's
anything.
true. Yeah.
Christina, do you have anything?
Well, I was just thinking about when Suzanne actually said that to me when I was working with something. She goes, you had said, well, perhaps maybe your story is not quite finished yet. And I thought, well, isn't that interesting?
knocked my head off.
No, yeah, okay. And I had to just kind of recalculate. I thought, okay, I've got to write a different part of my story, I guess. How about we build a bridge over this part?
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
what we
that's
did.
beautiful.
We'll work around.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, and actually, if you think about it, if you put it into practical everyday terms, people really are good at doing this. But when they're triggered, they can't remember. It'd be like
Yeah.
you go to work every day and suddenly the road that you always go down is blocked off.
Yeah.
Well, you can sit there and just be angry as hell and fume and rant and rave in your car. Or you go, hey, wait a minute, what am I doing? There's another street over here. I'll just take a turn here and go down a block or two, and then I can get there from this direction. And so that happens a lot. When people get triggered, all they can see is the roadblock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
just
Possibility.
keep obsessing and focusing on the roadblock instead of putting their little car into reverse and turning around and then regrouping and then finding a way to stay in their own day and do what they do every day
And be able to hear
And-
each other.
and hear
Yeah.
each other and be compassionate, loving, and give a sense of well-being to those that are around them. That's the big work. That's
Well,
the big work.
And we know about this. We know
Mhm.
about this more
Yeah.
than most, because for 25, 30 years, we have lived with that intention of being able to live with other people
Yes.
and be in community and meet them every day as who they are, not who we think they are or we're
Yeah.
pressed about who they
Or
are,
want them to
but
be.
who they are. When you repeatedly see people every day, after a while you can't even pretend who they are. and then you have to start loving who they are. And you can't pretend to be who you aren't every day for that many days.
Yeah.
You might be able to do it for your job or going to school, but it all comes out at some point. So when you live with each other for 24 hours a day for 30 years, that is not gonna. There's no little backstage, changing room. Yeah,
Wait a minute. Let me put my other face on. Hold
that's
on.
right. And in the middle of the night, you're walking out of your room to go to the bathroom and somebody else is going in the other direction and you can't hide it, you know. You can't hide where you're grumpy or grumped up or your stomach hurts or
you're panicked.
You got diarrhea or what. And you're panicked. And so after all of that, you learn to kind of just be yourself, not try to hide it away, and grant yourself room. You know, if you're not in such a sterling place, then all at once sit in your room a little longer and meditate, and until you realize it's not political, it's spiritual. And I think that the one of the biggest things is that we practice this every day. So when we talk about it, we know our stuff. And we've made many tools to assist us with our stuff. And what we have focused, we've done more and more, is we put our stuff, our tools, out online. We share it, and we work with it in all kinds of ways. We dress it up. We undress it, we dress it up, we turn it over, we turn it upside down, we turn it inside out. Whatever it takes, we make little collages where only one piece of a pattern is there, and it's shooting into the living room in the thing, and we just do it any kind of way that intuitively we see that helps. We use it. We make up all kinds of little ways, like, how are you going to get through this? Well, we'll make up a totemic, and then we'll inspire ourselves instead. We'll bring help. We'll bring the dolphin in. We got kind of a grumpy thing going. We bring in the dolphin, and it's like we all have all these tools. In other words, it's on the website. All of us can access it all the time, and we use it during the day and send it to each other. So we know our stuff. Also, we know that we have made every room in this house, the big red house. This room is not only the planet. This house is not only the planet, it's not only the oceans and Gaia, it is our planet, it is the galaxy and the solar system and the universe. And within all the rooms in the house, we've actually designated each room to be a country or several countries. And then, like the room we're sitting in right now is the whole galaxy. And it's for real to us. And so, like the kitchen right now, we've had to do a lot on the kitchen this year. We have had to do, and we have to, upkeep in the kitchen is much more active on a daily basis. We bring in food, we clean the refrigerators, we have to fix the floor, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. And you know what the kitchen is? The kitchen is America. Our studio where Robert and I work, it really was the dining room, is France and England, and the Ukraine is in the center. It's a smaller space. We have loved the Ukraine. We also see that it's really coming into a lot of change. A lot of things are coming up, like the waters that are down underneath it, starting to boil up and come up. It's like when the pond turns over when I used to live on the farm. It was pretty stinky. And then it all turned over, and then everything got fine again. But it's like the Suzanne and Christina, what country are your all's room?
We're South America and Mexico.
Oh, that's Sandra, what's your room?
Africa, the continent.
Oh, wow. Robert and I, we have two sides in our room. One side of the room is
the garden plan.
Is the garden plan in Sky. And it's the garden plan, like, for everything. And then over on the other side of the room is Japan. Then out of the front porch, China. Every room in the house, all 4 floors, all the way down to the basement. And then the whole garden are different parts of this world, this planet, this world, this universe, this galaxy. And we're aware of it. We have a big chart that Sandra has typed out, and they have and the chart's on the refrigerator. And that chart has all the different
And
worlds.
it's laminated.
And it's laminated.
It's sealed.
And when we work with a room, like we're cleaning it up or we're redoing it, we realize that we're actually working with that country and to support it, because we realize that our work is not political, it's spiritual. So we're going to help support the spiritual sovereignty of the galaxy, the whole solar system, the universe. That's our alignment of our work. That's where it
So
it
cool.
started from the beginning. And so we actually, you know, it's like when we paint the walls, we're working with that world. We clean the floors. We rearrange a room. We are recalculating the
changes.
changes and assisting whatever that part of the world is needing help, so that it can change into its sovereignty
I
and
love
stay
that
connected.
these talks are in the Galactic Center.
Yes.
Yes,
And
it
we
is.
also see, like, when something goes so-called wrong in one of the rooms, then we see it as a signal to become aware of something that needs tending to, that it's giving us information. Like in America, this, a month or two ago, our stove went out. So we realized that there's a whole thing, and the heat, the cauldron of a kitchen, the alchemy that's critical for creating assimilation, food, and everything. So it's like the hearth, the heart of America, the heat that was needed and building. It actually caught on fire inside of the oven. And it's like there was so much fire in America going on during all this unsettlement that we knew it was a signal that to really focus our energies on balancing that, getting it to cool down so that it didn't break apart. Like in alchemy, it doesn't, the heat doesn't get so high that it cracks the alchemical egg. That we knew that there had to get a balance. So we started working with the energies right away, and that third dimensionally, of course, we had to work with getting a new stove, but
it has to go physical.
Yeah.
I
But
just realized the
had to give
forest
us that.
fires probably happened around
They're
that
the
time.
same time.
Yes,
Yeah.
they did
I don't
actually.
think
You're
I
right.
didn't really put that together.
You are right. But I just find it fascinating all the time how different things, like with electricity or when a circuit goes out, or we've had different things happen that are in particular rooms. We start immediately looking at what country it is, what might be going on there, what do we need to be aware of. And once we start working on the energy of it, then usually either if it was a problem, the problem either resolves or we find a solution, or we're able to get whatever the issue is balanced out. And we
It's
know that
huge.
it is huge.
It's a
and we
huge
know it's
amount of
helping those
consciousness.
countries.
Right.
To do that kind of work. And so what you do is, you can even do this yourself if you want to help right now. It's like, make your home parts of the world that you want to be aware of and support.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is it isn't political, it is spiritual.
Yeah.
When we work with America, or we work with the living room or the bedrooms or the hall, any of it, it is all spiritual. It is all consciousness. It is not this other ownerships that are going on. And so we take the spirituality of our life and we make it physical. And we work with that physicality and we give it room. We have patience with it. And like Suzanne, I mean, it was a whole thing about the fire, but then we had mice this year, which we have not really had them like they were coming in. And we had to know that something was invading in America. And we didn't know what it was. And we dealt with it for several months, and until there was nothing. There was nothing coming in the basement. There was nothing coming in any one place. But mostly it was in America. And that's where we caught everything in America, and we had to change all the ways that we worked with our cabinets, and
How
we
we
had to
stored
put
things.
everything into tins. Yeah. And it was like we had never had to revamp a room like we had to revamp that room. We had to change all the way the cabinets were. We had to have big tins that we put everything that wasn't tin in tins. And we had to label the tins. We had to figure out ways that there was no room for invasion.
Yes, yes, yes.
There was no room for anything. And then if it invaded that area, it could come in and invade other rooms. Thank heavens it mostly was just there. And we were able, it had a direct line from the basement. We had to go through to see what is down, what country is in the basement.
Argentina.
Argentina. So we had to work with, any areas that things weren't actually solid enough that anything, because this is a very old house. We live near this whole area is like it's been farmland, and it's also a lot of houses deal with this here, and so it's an old house, but we've done it, and we have. I mean, we know anything that happens, and we are on guard.
And oddly enough, we realized when the stove had to be replaced, and they took out the old stove, then there was a hole, but right in the center where that other stove sat, there was a good 6-inch square hole that they had run the electric in. So we were able to redo it so that we had sheet metal over it. So that took care of that
Entry
potential.
point.
So
Possible entry point.
so
Yeah.
by having what appeared to be a problem, it not only had to be replaced, so there's a new element in the kitchen, but also took care of something unseen entryway. It got taken care of. So that was the silver metal metal lining in the
Coming down the steps to cellar door.
Yeah,
There had been where what is it that the clay had gotten old?
the old
We
old
had
plaster
we were really on it
mortar,
this summer.
yeah.
Oh my God!
So
And Christina and Suzanne, that's their area is America, and so I mean they had to work overtime too. I mean we all did, but they especially did, and they were very brave. I mean even to stay in the kitchen. Yeah, I mean I thought they were super brave.
yeah.
And they were definitely warriors.
So and initially when all of that stuff started happening, then it's just kind of naturally a natural human initial response is being triggered by all of that. But then after a while you take a breath, you look at what needs to be done, and you start doing it, and pretty soon, even though it didn't completely get eliminated just the next day, you were more on top of it because you saw it in a bigger picture.
It demanded more change. There were so many things that usually, I mean, I've never had to even, all the years I've had kitchens and things. But this, I mean, you had to constantly, okay, well, we're going to have to shift this. Okay, that did it. That helped. Well, we got to shift this. Okay, that did it. And it was like the kitchen is more than anybody's kitchen I've seen.
Yeah.
We're secured.
We're secured up. Yeah.
I can't leave anything out.
So
yes,
but
no, we cannot. We'd be totally aware.
We don't leave
So
any
we cannot leave anything out unattended in that kind of way. It's kind of the way the cautionary energy right now in this country is having to. It's like there's so many things that we weren't aware of, and we no longer can afford to not be aware of it. And so now we're having to become hyper aware, and it seems like it's over the top. But in actuality, we know from the summer it's what it's going to take.
Yeah.
And then finally, when we get done, that
it's kind
won't
of a
be
precursor to
Yeah.
yeah.
And if that is done, it's like it opens up avenues to the other rooms in the house. And so we are such a big country. What we are and what we do and how we are guardians.
Yeah.
We are, and so we guardian so many worlds, and but we ourselves have to guardian what we have not known about, and it's like any weaknesses that we have, that things that intruder can come in and take down. We're having this kind of, it's like, it's what we went through. It's like whoo whoo, and I think it guardianed us up for now, and but it's real. When you start working spiritually with your whole life in your home and everything, you have a lot of power doing that with your own awareness, if you're willing to do it.
Yeah.
But at least
Stay with it.
yeah, stay with it for your family.
Well, and I love a lot of people don't realize, or that what they are familiar with is the term about prayer, but if you replace that word, which is it's just another level of it, with intention. If you make your whole day, your whole life, your whole world your prayer, then you're intentioning every day in your life. You make everything matter. So you're making all your movements, your decisions, the things in your world, even if it's just the small space of your home and a room and the rooms in your home, if you are intentioning that you are going to change, guardian, protect, support a person, a nation, a situation, or whatever, in that room, with everything you do, everything you move, everything you say in that room, you are making your life a prayer.
Whoa,
and
that's beautiful.
You're making it an intention, and it's a big deal to become that awake and aware and that intentional. But it is possible, and I think that is how people can actually change the world without even leaving their house, or with, just, I really believe that.
I'm with her.
That was beautiful.
That was wonderful.
That was beautiful. Thank you.
Wow. Well, I think
I think
That's
anything else
pretty-
you all want to say? Suzanne,
Thank you.
Christina?
This was beautiful.
Thank you
I
so
think the
much.
prettiest-
Good stuff.
No, this, yeah, they're just,
the pretty
This is
astounding
pretty-
tabletop conversations.
Yeah.
We always love these because we do it so that we can share it with you, reading and listening to The Long Spoon. But in doing so, it gives us an opportunity to hear more of the journey and the discovery, because every moment unfolds something new, something wonderful to become aware of. So
what I like is at
thank you
the,
for being part of it.
yeah, at the end, rereading that,
Would-
closing this,
Beginning and ending it
then
with it.
ending with that.
Would you
so-
like to do that again?
Yes, or someone else read it?
No,
I
you-
just,
No,
I
you go
think-
ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. Dolphin, the enigmatic singer of the waters, effortlessly glides through the ocean, her playful melodies intertwining with the gentle rhythm of the waves. Each breath she takes is a symphony of life, a celebration of existence itself. Despite her boundless joy, Dolphin possesses a deep empathy that resonates with those who have lost their way. Pausing her enchanting song, she listens intently to the silent pleas of creatures adrift in the vastness of the sea, offering her unwavering support and understanding to all who seek solace in her ethereal presence.
Number 18 in
Number
the Totemic
18.
Oracle book.
Wow.
And that's on our website.
Yeah.
The Totemic Oracle book.
Yeah.
So you can go there anytime you want and enhance your awareness of
Yeah.
the world around you and the animals and what they bring.
Yeah. So thank you. This has been a good conversation.
Thank you.
And enjoy the rest of the Long Spoon. There's lots here. We're placing the conversation this month, and I think we'll do it from now on, up at the top of the page, because it's kind of a nice entry point
Yeah.
into the rest of the Long Spoon, the rest of the
Oh, that's
content.
lovely.
To listen to this conversation first is kind of a welcoming you into the world of round, and allowing the curve of the bend and the crease and the fold and the corrugation to embrace you as you then enter more deeply into the long spoon.
That's so cool.
So you come to the table, and from there you gather what you select to feed yourself for the month. So thank you, and we'll sign off for now until next month, and enjoy the long spoon, and thank you.